Hi, this is Kamera again. My first few minutes with God, day number 7, Job chapter 14 through 16. So we see that Job is still going through. At this moment, he's calling out to God, and he points out that our human lives are frail and short. He says, Lord, you decide the length of our lives, and I wish you would hide me in the grave until your anger is gone, and then come back for me later, of course. He says, you would call and I would answer. And he says, you would guard my footsteps, my sins would be sealed, and my guilt would be covered. And so, as you guys know, his friends are there. They're supposed to be comforting him. And his friend Eliphaz calls Job a windbag, accusing Job of testifying and condemning himself with his own lips, his own words. And he says that Job has turned away from God. And he talks about what happens to wicked people, how they live in terror and in fear, and how they endure this through their lives because they have no confidence or hope in God. So, of course, they're living in terror and fear. He says they disrespect and they defy God. They conceive trouble and they give birth to evil. And he said their womb produces evil. Isn't that something? And so Job calls his friends. And I mean, think about it. A person going through, you're supposed to be confident in them, not his friends. His friends trying to make him point out his wrong. So Job, he calls them miserable comforters. They are miserable. We can attest to that. Because everything that his friends are saying, they don't pertain to him. We understand what happens to the wicked and so forth. But Job is not wicked. God told us in the beginning that Job was a blameless, upright man. And so Job tells them that they're blowing hot air. And he says he would never ever treat them the way they're treating him if they were in his situation. Isn't that something? He says, if anything, I would encourage you guys and try and help take away your grief. And Job says that people, he tells us more about his sufferings. People are jeering and laughing at him. They slap his face in contempt. Mobs gather against him. He said, God has turned me over to the sinner, tossed into the hands of the wicked. And his friends, they scorn him still. Isn't that something? So he feels that God has targeted him, that God has abandoned him. He says his eyes are red and there's dark circle around his eyes from crying, yet he's done nothing wrong. And he says that his prayers are pure as he pours out his tears to God. And he says he really needs a mediator between him and God. So he's crying out to God. His friends are blaming him and accusing him. So Job is going through, guys. We have to understand, no people would do that to us when we're going through. They feel like we've done something wrong. But guys, God is teaching us how to trust him, how to stay faithful to him. And Job is doing pretty good. He's actually doing pretty good. He's suffering, though. That's the bad part. In the end, I'm sure he's going to be victorious. And don't forget, Satan's job is to make Job curse God. And he actually has his friends right there in person using his friends against him. So don't forget that as well, guys. But he's standing firm in his integrity. So there you have it, guys. Day number 7, Job chapter 14 through 16. You have a God-filled blessed day.